Thanks for joining us for another edition of Weekend Winners. Harness racing at Albion Park on Saturday night with 8 races. A little bit later start time compared to normal, 5:43 kick-off point. But all in all, it looks a really strong program. In this edition of Weekend Winners, we plan to catch up with Pete McMullen, Adam Richardson and Lockie Mann. Pete McMullen now joins us, and we start with Pete for Saturday night in race 6, Run Boy Run. He lands the inside gate, 1 mile. I'm tipping you'd be pretty happy with that barrier draw.
Yeah, it sort of looks like things have sort of gone his way this week with the ace draw, and a few of his runs probably look a bit ordinary, sort of in his form last few weeks, but the runs have definitely been better than what the sort of form suggests.
Just looking at that front line, he should be able to hold up pretty easily. The pace is probably drawn on the outside with Whedon's Express, Macy Jade, so it should be a fairly easy lead.
I'm hoping so. The easier I get it, the more I'm going to have it at the finish. So, yeah, really hoping that we don't have to burn too hard. Being something over the mile, you sort of got to be ready to rumble and run a solid mile the whole way.
Are you happy with the way he's going, or is he proving just to be a little frustrating?
He's a little bit frustrating, but I think barriers play a really big part in his sort of form. If he sort of things don't go his way, he sort of ends up at the back, and he likes to sort of ends up just sort of following them home. Whereas as soon as he gets a gate where he can actually do something, he becomes a big chance.
All right, well, that's Run Boy Run race 6. The following race, race 7. This is the trot. Monorail. This veteran guy is he's flying at the moment. He likes the short course trips. He's got barrier 1, so he looks a good chance.
Yeah, he's it's only over 2,100 metres, and got a good draw there, and this horse certainly is racing well for an old horse. He's absolutely flying.
Well, just looking at it, he might be able to step away cleanly here and lead this field, and it's not beyond him looking at it.
No, he usually always steps away pretty safely. Not all that quick, but usually always safe. And he led a few weeks ago there, and no one could run him down. So yeah, if we can get away cleanly, we might be able to do that again. All
right, well, that's Monorail in race 7, the last race 8. This race for the mares, Mac Talk. I thought she was a bit of an eye-catcher last week, doing her best work late.
Yeah, I think in recent weeks, her runs have been really good. Just nothing's going away, and some of her splits have been really good. A few weeks ago, she was 3-wide solo, and her splits were good, and I thought that run was, really, really good. And bit smaller field this week. Hopefully won't be so far back, and I think she's with a really good shot.
Just looking at it though, there's plenty of pace drawn to your inside, so you're probably going to have to drive it fairly cold again.
Yeah, unfortunately, she definitely is better suited in front, but hasn't got a whole lot of gate speed. So, you just got to play what you dealt with, and hopefully she doesn't get too far back, which she shouldn't in that smaller field, and I think she'll be the horse running on. All
right. Well, of that trio, what's the pick of them at this early stage?
They definitely are my best 3 for the night. I think all 3 of them probably got equal chances. Probably hard to split them.
All right. Well, appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
Yep. Thank you.
Adam Richardson now joins us, and we start with Adam for race 1. I'm Major Harry. A pacer that's going well, but he's looking to overcome what looks to be a really difficult draw on paper.
It isn't the best draw for him, Chris, but the horse has been racing well, and if we get a good helmet, he'll be thereabouts.
Looking at this field, there's a lot of pressure off the front row, so the harder they go, the better your chances are.
Yeah, exactly. If they go a good first half, we'll be right there.
All right, I'm Major Harry looks to be an each-way chance there in the first. Race number 2, got a moment. Second row draw for this guy as well, but I don't think that's a bad thing, because if he's not used early, he's very effective at the finish.
He is very effective at the finish. I've had one drive on him for a win coming from back in the field. He's been racing really good of late, and, same again, if we can get a good helmet in, he's got a good turn of foot late.
All right, so you're putting an unbeaten record on the line here on Saturday night.
Yeah, it looks that way.
Okay, that's got a moment in race number 2. Tuller's Ace in race 5. He comes up with a good draw. Again, it's a front row that looks loaded with speed, but he hasn't been far away, but this is probably his best draw for a long time.
Would be his best draw for a long time, and I think the horse is getting back to his best now. He's definitely a front runner. Just like to have his own way. So if we can get across there without too much pressure, it'll be hard to beat.
All right. Well, Tuller's Days looks a chance as well in race number 5. Of that trio, what's the early pick?
I'd probably say Tuller's Days early.
Okay. Well, we'll take the tip. We'll see you trackside. Appreciate the time.
All right. Thanks, Chris.
Lockie Mann jumps in the hot seat for us to discuss some of his drives for Saturday night. And we start with the opening race, race 1. Arthur Lowe, Lockie, he finally draws a gate, and he's going super, this guy.
Yeah, he's absolutely flying at the minute. He's drawn good this week, which that's very rare for him. With that gate, I think he'll probably be hard to beat in that. It's been going good, so I can't fault him at the minute.
Does he have the speed to head off Cardles from Heaven, who led last week?
I think he will. It's a step up for Cardles from Heaven this week, and I think Arthur Lowe will find the front and probably be too hard to run down.
He's been going super, and he's capable of going really fast time.
Yeah, he can run along. There's horses like Colonel Joy there as well. He'll probably run the gate and test him early, and then there's Lexus from the beach. He'll come up and have a look later, but he can run along, and hopefully he can this week.
All right, well, that's Arthur Lowe in race 1. Looks a terrific chance. Race 4, Comply or Die. Speaking of leaders, he's got gate 1, he's got a mile. Conditions look tailor-made for him.
Yeah, it's a step up in grade from the claimers for him, but he is going well, and Ronnie's got him going good again, which is good to see. Drew 1. He'll definitely have the speed to lead, as we know, and he'll take some running down.
You've driven this guy a few times. Narissa McMullen has got a great record on him. Is he a difficult horse to drive?
I haven't really driven him that much. I think I've only driven him like 4 times, and I was only saying to Ronnie the other day that I've never got to drive him in front. He's never led in any time I've driven him, so it'll be a change-up.
All right, well, he looks a good chance, Comply or Die. And in race 6, Big Bang Leonard. He was back in the winner's circle on Tuesday. You know this guy. This looks a race that he can win as well.
Yeah, he's finally got a draw and a race that suits, and as long as the luck goes his way like it did on Tuesday, the smaller fields on the Tuesdays have been the key for him, so he's close enough. But this field, he should be close enough, and if he is close enough, he's definitely good enough.
Looks like there's going to be good speed, and that's part of the trick with him as well. As long as there's a genuine tempo, he'll always be in the finish.
Yeah, he needs that speed on, and if he's up on the speed, he can handle it as well. So just wherever he lands there, as long as he's there around the bend, he'll be a chance.
All right, be a nice change. Normally you draw on the inside of the second row when you sit behind this guy, so gate 4's a real plus for you.
Yeah, he's had no luck at all in these band 5s on the Saturday nights, but he's finally going to get some luck this week, hopefully, and it'll be too good for him.
Well, they're 3 good drives, all frontline draws. What's the pick of them?
It's probably hard to pick. I'd probably go with Arthur Lowe. He's been absolutely flying, finally got a draw, and I think this is his week.
All right, well, appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
Thank you.
Looking for a good gamble on Saturday night? I like the chances at this early stage of race 3, number 1, Nifty Studly. I think the closer this guy gets to the inside, the better. So the draw looks tailor-made for him on Saturday night. I don't think there's any distance risks. So I think race 3, number 1, Nifty Studly looks a good early gamble. And if you are having a bet on Saturday night, please do so responsibly.